Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Mr. Speaker, sir, this question, there was a word "if" which has been replaced in the Business Committee to "how." But on reflection, Mr. Speaker, sir, it actually tantamounts to the same effect. Essentially, it's a very subjective question. The Honourable Member, I think, is asking, is this appropriate amount of sum of money or not? And Mr. Speaker, sir, under the circumstances, we believe it is. Mr. Speaker, sir, the Honourable Member looked at how the topper scholarships are actually awarded in the first place. It's actually based on industry requirements. It's based on the ability of those individuals to actually get jobs and the national requirements. So, Mr. Speaker, sir, when the announcement was made last year in the budget that for this year, MBBS students won't be able to get toppers, in the same way we have never given toppers for people to become lawyers. We only have been giving TELs. The reason being there's an oversupply of lawyers in Fiji. And obviously, Mr. Speaker, sir, there's no requirement, so there's no funding that needs to be given for toppers. Yes, we've given toppers for people to become engineers, nurses, quantity surveyors, and various other areas where there's a lack of skill sets in those specific areas of the economy. The Ministry of Health, Mr. Speaker, sir, as part of the 2020-2021 budget announcement, it was decided the government would suspend the MBBS program. The decision was made on the basis that the Ministry of Health would have 1,005 doctors to meet the WHO benchmark of 1 doctor per 1,000 population by the end of 2020. Mr. Speaker, sir, this policy decision was to be reviewed in the following years if the economic situation improved. And we all know that because of the pandemic, we had constrained economic and financial, limitations. So, Mr. Speaker, sir, in this financial year, government has allocated additional funding of $12 million to the Ministry of Health to cater for 140 new medical interns that have recently graduated. Because you don't just simply go to university. At the end of it, they need to go into internship, which we fund. And the interns, as the Minister will tell you, are one of the highest paid professionals in Fiji, soon after coming out of university. And of course, after they finish the internship, they get on a higher salary also. So we've catered for 140 new medical interns that have recently graduated and expect to be recruited soon, and 114 vacant posts to be filled. This will bring an expected total number of doctors to a net increase of 1,172 by the end of this financial year. In the budget announcement, the Honourable Member may recall that last year when we announced and said there won't be any more toppers for MBBS, we did say that in the event government was able to provide some financial support, we would actually do so. And the Honourable Member does know that government revenue is still very constrained because of the fact the border is still closed. Notwithstanding the fact we still provide a very safety net for all those people who require social assistance, unemployment benefit, $200 million, micro, small, medium enterprise loans, interest rate, no interest rates payments for 2 years, no principal payments, continuation of the poverty alleviation scheme. All of that has been put in place. TELS is still continuing with some modifications to it. So given the constraints, we still, Mr. Speaker, said that those people who actually got into MBBS, we will assist by paying them $10,000 if they meet the criteria. So for a student to qualify for the one-off financial assistance of $10,000, they need to be enrolled for the MBBS program in 2021, and the grant will assist them for the second year of studies. The assistance will be subject to the students meeting the established criteria of having a Year 13 aggregate score of 340 or more out of 400 during the time of admission. The first year cumulative GPA for the MBBS program must be 3.0 or more and pass the means test of a combined parent-guardian income of no more than $100,000 per annum. So essentially, we are targeting to help those in the low-income brackets. Mr. Speaker, sir, unfortunately, I didn't have enough time, but when we announced this in this year's budget, one of the mothers actually sent me an email or a Viber thanking us for it, saying, thank you for this assistance. We understand the circumstances, but $10,000, it will be a great help to us. And of course, we congratulate all those who have been enrolled in MBBS, and like to, of course, thank the perseverance of those students, including the families that have actually persevered, given priority to that. And we wish them all the best, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Thank you.